I'm Steve King, and I've got Kieran Shumway on the phone. She is one of the directors for Tunnels2Towers, the event that is happening here September 15th in Albany. And Kieran, why don't you tell us a little bit about the event to honor our first responders as well as our military and Gold Star families right here in the upstate?
Well, this will be our fourth annual. We started back in 2015. It's in honor of all 9/11 responders, military, and civilians who lost their lives on 9/11. It was started by the Siller family in honor of their brother, Stephen Siller. So the foundation is actually the Stephen Siller Tunnel2Towers Foundation. And on 9/11, Stephen had finished his shift. He's a firefighter for FDNY, and was on his way home to play golf with his brothers. And he heard about the planes hitting the towers, so he went back to his firehouse. His guys were already gone, put on his gear, got in his truck, and went to drive through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, where he was not able to get through due to security reasons. So he parked it along the side, grabbed his gear, and ran towards the towers. And to this day, they have not, he was never seen again, and they have not found him as of yet.
Wow. Wow, that's really, wow.
Yeah, and he was 34 years old. He left behind a wife and 5 children, with the youngest one being 9 months old. So in honor of what he did, his family started this big run, a 5K in New York City, and you actually follow his footsteps. You start at the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, and you end at the Freedom Tower now.
Wow. And then it grew from there, right? It started out as you know, a 5K, like you said, a smaller event to kind of honor him and honor all of our first responders and 9/11 responders. And then it's grown over time, right?
Right. The 5K it's still going on in New York City. It's always the last Sunday in September. Started out, I would say the first couple of years was maybe 1,000, 2,000 participants. It's now grown to 40,000 people.
Holy smoke. Wow.
And then a few years ago, they started to branch out the runs across the country. So Savannah's been doing theirs for like seven or 8 years. Tampa has a climb. Albany's climb is actually the second climb that was started after the one at the Freedom Tower. So Charlotte, North Carolina was the first. We were the second. And now I think there's probably up to 6 or 7 climbs.
Now explain what the climb is for people that aren't familiar. I mean, I think everybody knows what a 5K is, but explain what the climb is and what's involved.
The climb is you'll be climbing... Here in Albany, you'll be climbing the Corning Tower, the stairs inside the Corning Tower. That is 42 floors, 809 steps, and there's 2 flights per floor. So there's like 84 flights of stairs. Anybody can join us. Last year we had 6 participants under the age of 17.
Wow.
We have firemen who do it in full gear. And for the very first time this year, we're going to have a military group from the 109th Airlift Wing. And from what I've heard, there will be a gentleman climbing up in full body armor.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. We do have some elite climbers that have joined us here and there. And our fastest climber went up in just under 4 minutes. Up all 42 floors.
That's unreal. 40. Are you serious?
Yeah.
4 minutes?
I'm serious.
Wow.
4 minutes.
I can't even make it up a flight of stairs in 4 minutes, let alone 42.
We had our fastest firefighter, our very first year, our fastest firefighter went up in just under 10 minutes in full gear.
Wow.
We have 15 different companies participating. We may have a representation of only 1 or 2, and some of them have become a team. And what we do for the firehouses, because all the firemen, they like a little bit of friendly competition.
Oh, of course.
So they will be going in either teams of 4, but not more than 6. And what we do is we take the fastest 4 times, 4 people on the team, and the fastest firehouse gets what we call the Siller Cup. It's a professional trophy, so they get to keep that trophy in their firehouse and have bragging rights for a year. But then they have to bring it back and earn it back the next year. And the Albany Fire Department has won it 3 years in a row.
Wow. So they're training. They're probably on their off time. They're running up and down Corning Tower.
Well, everybody rest assured who is in the Corning Tower will know that those Albany firefighters can get up that tower pretty darn quick.
Man, no kidding. No kidding.
Yeah.
So it's coming up September 15th is when it's happening. Now, if people want to get involved, this isn't just for firefighters. This isn't just for first responders or anything. It's open to everybody, right?
Open to everybody. They can go to www.crowdrise.com/T, the number 2T, Albany 2019, and that will take you to our registration site.
Okay.
Or you can just go to T2TRun.org, and that, once again, the 2 is the number 2, and they can click on there and then look through all the events, find Albany's, and click on it. And
I found it pretty easily just with a Google search of just Tunnel2Towers using the number 2, Tunnel2Towers, Albany, and it came up right away. So easy to find information.
Our online registration will close on Thursday, September 12th at 11:59 p.m.
Okay.
So we'd like to get everybody, if you're going to be a team, a firefighter team, we would need you to sign up by then because we need to get all this information to our timing company so they know who the teams are and who's on each of the teams. Upstairs on the observation deck, we will have what's called the Remember the Fallen wall and also the Promise wall. And this is being brought up by a Gold Star sister. Her brother was killed in the wars. And he will, they will be bringing up this wall, and it has over 300 soldiers' stories and pictures of them. And these were guys who were killed in action over in Iraq or Afghanistan. Now, the Promise Wall is very new. They just did it this year, and that will that has those soldiers, their pictures and their story listed on those who lost their life due to PTSD and suicide.
What about people that aren't going to compete, aren't going to do the climb? Are people invited to come out and cheer on everybody while they're doing it?
Absolutely. You'll have to be upstairs, and we kind of got to give the guys a little breather because when they come up to the top of those steps, some of them,
I bet they're exhausted.
They got to catch their breath.
They're taking the elevator back down, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. They're taking the elevator back down, and we do timing, and like I said, we will have the Remember the Fallen wall, so if somebody wants to come and see that, you can come right up the stairs. Our opening ceremonies start at 9 o'clock. Our climbers will start to go up. We have our elite climbers go up at 9:15, and and then we'll start the firemen at 9:30. And it goes quick. You would think that you'd be there a really long time, but the average person can make it up in about anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes.
Sure.
And Michael White with the Greenwich Fire Department, he actually last year carried up a rolled hose as well as having all that equipment on.
Oh, my gosh. Now that's just showing off.
It's so awesome to see, though. And what we really want, we do fundraising. Each of the participants does fundraising. And what the money goes towards is the foundation has 3 programs. It's called the Smart Home Program, which provides custom-designed smart homes to catastrophically wounded veterans all across the country. And actually, one was built in Averill Park in 2012 for Tech Sergeant Joe Wilkinson. Mm-hmm. And there was another one built in Dutchess County in Millerton for Sergeant Stephen Value. He was in the Army. And there's been a couple in Buffalo and one in Syracuse. So there's several in New York State, but they go all across the country. And they also instituted 2 new programs within the past couple years, the Fallen First Responders Program and the Gold Star Family Program. For the Fallen First Responders, what they do is if someone has been killed in the line of duty and they have young children, they pay off the mortgages so those families don't have to worry about how are they going to move on.
Wow.
And they do the same for Gold Star families. So the foundation, the Stephen Siller Tunnel2Towers Foundation, I've been involved with them because I found out about them through my sister, and I started doing the runs back in 2006. And for 6 years, I did the runs every year. And then I skipped for a while, and for the past 3 years, I go down to the one in New York City. And, we'd love to have you do our climb, but I also do the 5K down in New York City. Put that on your bucket list because it's amazing to see. Because as you're coming out of the tunnel, there are 343 firefighters in their dress uniform, each with a banner around their neck with a picture of one of the firefighters who lost their lives.
Wow.
And on the other
be
side are the West Point cadets with flags. So as you're breaking out of that tunnel, and they're cheering you on. They're thanking you for being there. And it's just the most amazing thing.
Kieran Shumway, thank you very much for giving us all the details on the Tunnels to Towers event. And we look forward to seeing everybody out there September 15th.